Pokimane for money, and then
I was not
gradually
stream it
grew feelings for her.
in YouTube.
I even thought about proposing. Unfortunately, Pokimane tried to paint a different picture when she attempted to convince people she bought herself an engagement
Didn't
ring.
notice that.
Bought an engagement ring for myself. Okay, but you guys told me to. In the comments my last video, you guys kept talking about a ring. A lot of you were saying, girl, just go get one for yourself. So that's what I did. Damn! Look at the gorgeous diamond. Will I be with me for the rest of my life? Well, yes, I've no choice.
Okay, guys, you know who bought her that ring? It was me. I'm the one who bought Pokimane the engagement ring. And instead of giving it back, she flaunts it in front of me online and then lies about purchasing the blood diamond herself. Nobody just buys an engagement ring for themselves, and I'm frustrated people actually bought that story. But that was over a month ago, and now it looks like Pokimane is back on the dating scene, and it doesn't seem to be going very well. Since after all these videos of Pokimane trying to convince the world she don't need no mans, she decides to her
Man.
compatible with within a relationship.
But she need a fucking genie.
Exclude married. Yeah, I don't want to date someone who's married. Wow. I actually thought it'd be better odds. Out of 164 million, only 500,000 meet my standards. 0.32%. What did I even ask for?
People were taking this clip and claiming that Pokimane has such high standards that no man would ever tap that. Well, I'm actually here to say this is slanderous. Like, I don't know if you guys have used the website yourself, but even when you max out every sides excluding marriage, you only get 36%, which, you know, I think refraining from dating a married man or woman is a very standard. No, Pokimane is even willing to date a 5'4" homeless 40-year-old. I would say her standards aren't very high. What's bringing her score down, though, is her selecting no for a partner that drinks and smokes. Cigarettes smell like shit, vapes are cringe, and drinking can get a little messy. I think these standards are overall fine. It does make me wonder, though, what my score would look like. After breaking up with Pokimane, am I able to find love? Alright, so I'm on the same website Pokimane was using to find a mate, so there's no inconsistency with the scoring. To start out, I will be selecting men, because dating Pokimane turned me into a misogynist, and I can't even be around women anymore, so I might as well switch. Want kids? No. Age? Well, I'm gonna aim a little bit higher. It's kind of weird because this website doesn't allow you to go past 70 for whatever reason. I date someone over 70, personally. I don't think people that age are incapable of dating anyone else. 150,000, I think that's a reasonable range. My future hubby's got to be making some bank, because while I do make a decent living talking into a microphone, it would be nice not to have to work this hard anymore. Education, I want my future partner to be very stupid so I can dominate every conversation we have. Smoking, no. Drinking, I might put yes. Like, I could see me and my future husband snuggling next to a fireplace with a glass of red wine. We will be excluding marriage, but I could see myself with a husky man. Alright, so... well, that's not too bad. I think I have a chance at happiness.
Alright, got a little bit of begin reaction.
谁他妈偷袭我，让我抓到皮不给你扒了！
处长哥哥，猜猜我是谁？
我他妈才不管你是谁，我只知道方二我工作是要扣你工资的。 处长哥哥这么强硬，好有魅力哟！看不出来你喜欢嫂子这么随性的人呀。他是怎么做到和其他哥哥打成一片的？还会抽烟，好酷哦！我就学不来，刚来公司什么也不会，只能坐在自己的位置上发呆。我真的是笨笨的。啊，上班发呆是要扣工资的，这次扣你1个月工资，下次注意点，可别让人家逮到了。你还有什么事儿吗？处长哥哥在忙什么呀？需不需要人家帮忙呀？啊，我在刻我兄弟的雕像。哥哥的兄弟 QQ 小小的，好可爱呀！我能亲一口吗？送你了，我看他挺适合你的。午饭要去哪里？楼下有食堂，也可以点外卖。那哥哥你是跟我们一起去食堂吃吗？不，我回家吃。为什么呀？嫂子管？因为我有车呀。剩多的人还愿意给嫂子做午饭，我怎么遇不到这样的人呀？可能因为你不配。嫂子那么会化妆，所以才吸引到你吧？像我这种天天素颜的妹子一定很不受欢迎。我发现你还挺有自知之明的。可是昨晚团建的时候刘总很近，我有点害怕。废话，能不害怕吗？我们整个部门就因为你业绩没达标。对不起啦，是人家做的不好嘛。知道不好还去团建，我们一整个部门都没脸你去了。我他妈嫂子昨晚说我了，我哭了一晚上。我知道他脾气不好才没和你说，你可别怪他呀。所以这就是昨晚你没做报表的理由吗？都怪我，是我让嫂子误会了。可能这就是女生嫉妒的天性吧。像我这种没嫉妒心的女生很少了。这件事情你放心好了，以后不会再有这样的情况发生了。你可别骂嫂子呀，真的不关她的事儿。不是你业绩太差了，公司已经决定把你开了，现在你可以收拾东西走人了。离开前能不能2件事儿？你说，第一，好好爱她。第二，永远不要忘记我。好的，芳芳。我他妈叫婷婷。姐，为啥我怎么没见过你谈男朋友呢？因为我是话题终结者，没有任何人可以在我这儿搭讪成功。真的假的？要不然我来搭讪试试。试试就试试。你好呀，小姐姐。我不好。你叫什么名字呀？还没取好。你长得真漂亮，这还用你讲？我们能聊聊天吗？好啊，那你借我点钱吧。不多，就5天子还你。我是你朋友介绍来的。我没有朋友，其实是你爸妈安排我们见面的。我是孤儿。谢谢，有被笑到。你平时就是这样跟人聊天的？怎么不行吗？怪不得找不到男朋友，你哥也不知道是遗传谁的。应该是我的吧。我们再来一轮。放马过来。嗨，美女，在干嘛呀？在挑粪。我能加你一个微信吗？我没有手机，我给你买一个。好啊，你把钱转我微信，我自己去买。你不是没有手机吗？但是我有收款码。我送你一部手机，这下能加微信了吧？不行。为什么？我的微信我做主，指手画脚，妈入土。儿子，你这种搭讪方式也太直男了吧？我才不是直男呢。我考考你，谈恋爱别人嫌弃你年纪小，应该怎么办？我虽然年纪小，但是我其他地方大呀。哦，哪大呀？肿瘤。当你跟女生单独在一起的时候，她说好热，你怎么办？那不是折出来。哦，那又是为什么呀？我看狗都是这样散热的。哎，没救了，没救了！家里2个奇葩也不知道遗传谁的。我的。姐，你这个样子我能搭讪就怪了。有本事我们角色互换，你来问我。好呀，看我怎么怼死你。小哥哥，你会做饭吗？不会。你个垃圾。你会跳舞吗？不会。你个土包子啊！你会赚钱吗？不会。你个穷逼。哎，昨晚打游戏死了2次，就被杠精阴阳怪气一整局，真是气死我了！哟，游戏打这么烂还不准别人说呀？可是他玩的比我还菜。你能说你坑吗？再说，难道你从来就没有别人吗？承认自己是坑货有那么难吗？你这个杠精怎么就死性不改呢？因为抬杠是我的天赋，那么怼你我义无反顾。那么就让你体会一下我新学的杠精语录。你玩的这么菜，是在峡谷刷微信步数吗？我在风水宝地给你挑木呢。你这水平怕不是小学生，你这脑子大概是得了帕金森。啥把你在键盘上鸡都玩的比你好，把你的嘴安在狗身上，狗都比你会说人话。恕我直言，我用脚都比你玩的好。哦，原来你没手啊，那我就不跟残疾人计较了。只有我觉得你说话没脑子吗？原来跟傻子说话还需要用脑子啊！好狗不挡道，好驴不乱叫。那你还不赶紧闭嘴让道？草船上借的是你吧？你这么贱，那你就是那条船吧？竟被人射。每次都输给我，你心里就没有点 AC 数吗？但是这一次我请了帮手，就是你老欺负我儿子，那还不是因为他要当杠精？杠精怎么了？他还是个孩子，你跟他计较什么？那我也是个小孩，等会儿冒犯了跟我计较小年纪怎么这么没礼？怎么教你的？我爸妈教我礼貌待人。对于你们这种杠精，我一直都是来一个怼一个。好啊，那就让我来领教领教。他还小，你让着他点不行吗？趁他还小，直接重开不行吗？怼人没轻没重的，这些年的书你都白读了，这么大年纪了还道德绑架，这些年你都白活了。我看你也别读书了，最后 厂打工，我看你也别活着了，最后还不是回炉火化啊？你爸妈怎么生了你这么个没教养的东西？真是浪费燃烧。把茅坑安嘴上，可怜之人必有可恨之处。哦，那你也太可怜了吧？啊？嗨，我就跟你开个玩笑，你怎么就当真了呢？这么爱开玩笑，难怪你长得就像个玩笑。我跟你说这么多都是为了你好，求求你别对我这么好，我又不是你爹啊！大人跟你说话你就好好听，吃亏是福，你知不知道啊？对对对，那我祝你福如家。
Learn how to argue with people.
加勒比海，海王竟是你奶。
Also, hi there, Mary.
拜见师傅，请师傅收我为徒。这是哪来的手？怎么这大殿上？禀师傅，是外面捡来的。哦，我知道了，流浪狗啊！师傅，我不是狗。那我们赶紧起锅烧油。什么？好好款待一番啊！师傅，弟子还是建议放生。那倒不用，生姜辣椒孜然，弟子自备碗筷。我他妈不是狗！再说狗狗那么可爱，为什么要吃？啊！我家的狗刚死，今天你有口福了，这样不好吧？太残忍了，呸，太残忍了！昨天还剩了不少狗粮。什么？放心，我家狗平时吃的比你过年吃的都好。叫什么名字？我没有名字。你的父母呢？我没有家人。哦，你是一个孤儿。我是从石头里蹦出来的。那你妈一定炸了。你拼！为师赐予你法号悟空，你想学什么本领？12变，为师不会。那一日万里的筋斗云，为师也不会。那时间停止定身术，为师还是不会。你怎么不按剧本走？搞什么飞机？这个为师会。修行一道，切勿好高骛远，择你3边，自行悔过。我明白了，师傅，你是想让我晚上3更来找你，孺子可教也。弟子会做好安全措施的。那你温柔，为师已将毕生所授予你，多谢师傅。为师亏看到一些，发现你学成之后必将做出一番惊天大动静。你可知你拜师学艺是为了什么？当然知道。哦，吸金小母猴，起锅烧油。阿姨好，阿姨好。是你们几个小瘪犊子呀！小明，听说你得了网易云综合症，我们来看看你，顺便给你带了只鸡补补身子。谢谢你们，你们真好。鸡鸡这么可爱，为什么要吃鸡啊？时间到了，他又犯病了。阿姨放心，我们帮你治好他。有些人8岁就死了，80岁才埋；有些人8岁就埋了，80岁才死。啊？我知道了，只要我们打破抑郁的氛围，小明就没办法保持抑郁的情绪，从而达到治疗他的效果。喵啊！没有任何缘由的，心空了，感觉不再跳动，世界一片灰白。建议你去做一个心电图和心脏彩超。他走了，却说祝我幸福，就像一个贼偷走了你所有的钱，还对你说恭喜发财。我操，有效果，我们继续。你能想象到长颈鹿在喝咖啡的时候，咖啡到肚子里已经凉了吗？长颈鹿喝你妈的咖啡，喝一口水，水凉了，心也凉了。长颈鹿都能喝咖啡，你他妈怎么只能喝凉水？我没有妈妈，她在我6岁的时候得癌症去世了，人间真好，下辈子不来了。啊，这也太惨了吧！啊，太可怜了。真可怜。我的fuck，为什么海水上眼泪也是咸的，尿也是咸的？现在的小孩我很抱歉，生了你这么个小瘪崽子，我也很抱歉。我儿活得太累了，我决定明天送他去结束他这痛苦的生活。我同意，我同意，我同意。妈妈妈妈，我是你的好大儿呀！什么网易云综合症全好啦！生而为人民服务是我的职责呀！妈妈妈妈，你忍心把我送去安乐死吗？既然你已经那咱就不去了，但是你要记得给UP主点3连哟。下次一定。你们知道吗？今天隔壁班翠花穿裙子啦，真好看呐！你的意思是说别的女生穿裙子就不好看了是吗？会不会讲话？你脑子是不是让驴踢了？你这个人怎么这么说话呢？你是杠精吧？隔壁班我才去逛了一圈，好家伙，那叫一个坦克世界呀！什么坦克世界？你那叫金针菇环游世界啊！ 哎，我只是说实话，不是干哈。不喜欢喷啊！哎，我不喜欢，我就是要喷你。呸，死壳郎！不会吧，不会吧，不会这就生气了吧？我只是说说而已，你干嘛要杠我？我杠你是应该，不杠你叫悲哀。谁叫我们都传承了阿基米德的知识了呢？你脑子里都是粑粑吗？我满脑子都是你啊！我看你是想领教一下我的杠精语录，来呀，咱们比划比划。哎，文明观后切勿冲动呀。看招！不会吧，不会吧，不会真的只有我一个人觉得 B 站的视频不好看吧？是的，就你一个，你个孤儿，你怎么这么烦人？我看见你就烦。那我送你回火星吧，那儿清静。你这照片一看就知道是 P 的，你咋这么能管闲事呢？门口路过一个掏粪车，你也要去尝尝咸淡吗？你有跟我杠的时间和精力，为什么不去学习呢？你有时间和精力，为什么没有考上清华北大呢？就你一个 B 站小 UP 还有粉丝？我不仅有粉丝，我还有米线。一言在座的各位，不是我滚！我说句不好听的，你别不爱听。我脾气不好嘛，你别计较。我佛就该度了你，我佛只度你这种憨皮。像你这么大，有些人都结婚了；像你这么大，有些人都结扎了。你怎么听不进去意见？因为我不讲道理。长这么矮，脾气这么大，你很高吗？你家怎么有天花板？你这么做考虑过别人的感受吗？我从不考虑跟别人的感受。他只有一险了，大残呐，大残要分胜负了。下棋一定有人说。
Well, I found out like my stream is a little bit like taxing because it was like I'm doing like way too many stuff for my stream and I think like it's lagging a little bit. Yeah, lagging a little bit. So I did some fixing. I'm still working on quite lots of things that for my stream and stuff, so yeah.
So a few days back, I talked about this live service video game, Splitgate 2, or as it's known now, Splitgate Arena Reloaded. I discussed how Splitgate 2 essentially unlaunched and relaunched and basically died a second time, given that player numbers surrounding the relaunch of Splitgate 2 are not looking particularly good. While complaints surrounding Splitgate 2 were addressed with Arena Reloaded, and it's seen generally more positive reception than the original launch of Splitgate 2 did, it doesn't change the fact that a lot of people seem to have moved on, and the player numbers of Splitgate Arena Reloaded don't inspire a whole lot of confidence, indicating that this is a live service that will not be sustainable. It's free to play, but there are not enough players engaging with it for it to be able to recurrently monetize at a level that will allow this game to sustain itself. And so yeah, looking at Steam charts, you'll see that the all-time peak, while decent, really dropped off quite quickly, and now we're at a point where even after the relaunch, the game only peaked at, a little less than 2,300 players, and we're sitting in the like mid to high triple digits right now when it comes to player numbers, with the 24-hour peak as of right now kind of having reached low quadruple digits, but still not enough players, nowhere near enough players for this free-to-play live service to be sustainable. And not to mention that Splitgate sequel managed to perform worse than the first game. Splitgate 1 peaked at, a little less than 68,000 players on Steam, significantly more than Splitgate 2's all-time peak. Usually, you want sequels to do better than the predecessors, especially when it comes to live services. In my last video surrounding this game, I discussed all the marketing missteps, like how this dude came out with this Make FPS Great Again hat that, obviously had some political implications, combined with the fact that he dogged on Call of Duty and Halo on stage, presented himself as basically like the savior of the first-person shooter genre, only to deliver a product that, while cool with the way it integrates portals into a first-person shooter game, ultimately shipped a product that didn't deliver. Players of the first game felt that the second game didn't really fully capture what made the first game great. The developers did recognize the negative feedback surrounding Splitgate 2, so on July of 2025, just 3 months after its launch, they unlaunched the game, put it back into beta, and they essentially overhauled it into what has become Splitgate Arena Reloaded. but with player numbers being as low as they are at the launch of this reboot, things are not looking good for this live service. And even on platforms like Twitch, you'll find that viewership here is extremely low across all the streamers who have decided to stream this game. So activity and engagement of this title is pretty abysmal right now. Now, Splitgate development studio 1047 Games has become aware of kind of the negative outlook surrounding this live service, and all of the negative reports surrounding how its Steam numbers suggest that this game as a live service seems to be flopping, and they had something to say about that. And it's a statement that I ultimately think ended up doing more harm than good, with the development team low-key resenting the fact that Steam charts numbers are being reported on and highlighting how Steam charts don't measure fun. This is the first time I've ever seen a development studio respond to people discussing Steam charts numbers, with this tweet right here reading 1047 Games responds to recent Steam charts conversations. So I'm going to read this statement first and then express my take and opinions on this. Here's what 1047 Games had to say. Steam charts don't measure fun. They show one number on one platform at one given moment. They don't show the full picture of what it feels like to actually play, and they definitely don't capture the community that's actively helping shape what Arena Reloaded is becoming, including upcoming content like Arena Royale. Over the past 6 months, we rebuilt Splitgate from the ground up because we believe in the game, our team, and our community. The 1047 team remains committed to delivering the best version of Splitgate possible. To our amazing community, thank you. Your feedback and passion have helped make Arena Reloaded better every day. And to everyone who hasn't played yet, Arena Reloaded is free, the gameplay is the best it's ever been, and we'd love for you to jump in and form your own opinion. A lot of passionate people worked very hard on it. And look, I can appreciate that developers worked very hard on their game. I can appreciate that they listened to feedback to the point where they decided to overhaul a game that launched in a flawed state. And yeah, just because Steam charts numbers are low for a game doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be folks who find that game fun. But at the same time, Steam charts data and numbers do tell a story. And in the case of a game like Splitgate and the numbers that it's currently showing, what it displays is that it's a live service that is plain and simply not thriving. That's just the reality. We've seen numbers like these for other live service games who ultimately ended up flopping and shutting down when financial results came out. People aren't discussing Steam charts numbers just to dog on the game. They're discussing these numbers because they do foretell the most likely outcome for this live service, which is that it'll likely get shut down sooner rather than later if these numbers don't recover. The story that these numbers ultimately tell is that the game is not attracting the attention of a lot of players, and this major drop-off, not only for Splitgate 2, but also for Splitgate 1, which you can see right here, released to really significant player numbers and then dropped off very quickly, highlights what is an oversaturated market and how Splitgate ultimately is not winning over people compared to the competition. And competition in this market is incredibly stiff. I do appreciate that Splitgate is a bit more of a unique take on first-person shooter games with its portal mechanics integrated in there, but it doesn't change objective facts. And looking at these numbers, the objective fact is that people are more interested in playing other games than Splitgate Arena Reloaded. People are not flooding en masse to play this game. Even with its unique gimmicks and mechanics surrounding portals, it hasn't done enough to, capture audiences to a point where they would abandon the live services that they're already playing and that they've already invested significant amount of time and money in. They say right here that Steam charts show one number on one platform at one given moment. But I cannot imagine a scenario where Splitgate Arena Reloaded is doing far better on consoles than on PC. Usually, if you see big numbers on Steam charts, you can usually expect that similar big numbers are happening on other platforms. And conversely, if you see really low numbers on Steam charts, it tends to be that the game is not particularly popular on other platforms either. Steam charts ultimately show player numbers, and player numbers for a live service often defines its ultimate fate. Take, for example, Concord. This is a game that, during its free beta, only managed to achieve an all-time peak concurrent player number of 2,388 players. This was before the game fully released, but the writing was on the wall for this game at that point. It was impossible to see this game as a massive success when during a free beta, it pulled in so few players. Using the excuse of this is one number on one platform at one moment in time just wouldn't work here, wouldn't account for how low the player numbers are for this game. The reason player numbers were low is due to the fact that interest surrounding this game was minimal. And so yeah, when Concord actually came out charging $40 at that, it came as little to no surprise that the all-time peak was as abysmal as it was, just a little under 700 players on Steam. If so few people are interested in playing this game for free, then of course, even less people would be interested in paying for it. And lo and behold, Concord ended up shutting down just 2 weeks after its launch, ended up issuing mass refunds across the board. The live service died, and Sony just decided to cut their losses, and the losses were significant, hundreds of millions with this game. All of that could be predicted just looking at Steam charts numbers, just looking at how many players are interested in the game and interacting with it. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got a game like Arc Raiders, whose all-time peak is not only tremendous with, just under 500,000 players all-time peak on Steam.
Anyone here play Outrider?
That hundreds of thousands of players continue to come back. The retention here is incredible. The most recent 24-hour peak is 352,744 players, which is not that far off from its all-time peak. That right there is a healthy live service that will be around for many years to come. The statement here insists that Steam charts doesn't tell the full story, but in many ways, it kind of does. Clearly, there's an indication that this game isn't so fun and so far above and beyond what other live services do that it merits people abandoning the live services that are their go-tos in favor of this particular live service in this oversaturated market. This statement essentially attempts to minimize how much of a story Steam charts numbers tell, and it also attempts to minimize how important Steam charts numbers are for consumers, especially for a live service. Because keep in mind that live services are recurrently monetized. They often encourage you to invest money into its monetization schemes and elements so that you're able to attain certain unique rewards. Live services expect people to invest in money to purchase essentially zeros and ones, right? Like digital items that one day will disappear forever and, are not products that you're genuinely going to own because they are all part of the video games ecosystem. So for people to feel comfortable dropping money into a live service recurrently and investing that much money into a live service game, they also have to feel confident that the live service will remain for the long term and that there isn't a possibility that people will invest all this money into a game that will die in the short-term future, which is the indication that Splitgate is currently showing through Steam charts. For live services especially, Steam charts allows people to gauge where a live service is headed. It allows people to gauge the potential longevity of a live service and in turn, whether it's worth investing money and time into this live service, whether it's something that will have enough longevity where your monetary investment will be something you'll be able to take advantage of for the long term, or if you're just throwing money away into a toilet that's about to flush. In the case of Splitgate here, what these numbers indicate is that maybe you want to hold off on spending money on the monetization schemes of this game because it seems likely that this game in the not so distant future will die off. Whereas when you look at Arc Raiders Steam charts numbers, what this indicates is that this is a healthy live service that will be here for many, many years to come. And so if you invest money in the monetization systems of this game, then you'll be assured that at the very least, what you receive digitally will be something you can utilize within the confines of this game for many, many years to come, and not something that will go to waste, that will disappear in just a few short, days, weeks, or months. What Steam charts numbers indicate for a live service is whether it's worth investing time and money into it. The model for consumers is always make sure that your purchases are well informed. And what Steam charts offers is essentially more information about a game that is enticing you to spend money on it. Steam charts serves as a warning sign for whether a live service can be relied to stay online for the long term, or whether it's more likely that we'll see a live service shut down sooner rather than later, in which case, why would you want to spend money on such a live service? It'll save you money by being informed about how a live service is trending. That's why Steam charts is important. That's why it's something that shouldn't be ignored. That's why it's something that people should look up, especially when it comes to live services. Steam charts may not measure fun, but it does measure community sentiment and the viability of a live service. Steam charts doesn't just show one number platform at one given moment. It shows a general trend, and that's consistently been the case. Anytime we've seen a live service have poor Steam charts numbers, we've seen that live service die off unless a developer really stuck with it and really made such significant improvements that word of mouth spread and we saw a comeback happen, which is more of an exception than the norm. It's incredibly difficult to make a comeback from a poor first impression. And that's what happened with Splitgate 2. It made a poor first impression. They did overhaul it, but it may be a case of too little too late. Despite their best efforts, it may not have been enough to save this particular live service in such an oversaturated market. And maybe Steam Charts does kind of measure fun, because if you look at a game that launched at a peak of, 25,785 players, and that number drops off so quickly and then never picks back up again, maybe there's a general sentiment that the game isn't as fun as the developers think it is. Because if this was the most fun game in the world, then it would pull a lot of people off of the current games that they're playing, the current live services they're engaged in, and you would see a rise in player numbers. But the fact that we're not seeing that, and we're not seeing the level of retention that, say, Arc Raiders is seeing, maybe that does indicate that, a game like Arc Raiders is actually more fun for people than Splitgate. Splitgate does have a niche audience for whom, for those people, this game is their go-to. But for the general masses, clearly what Steam Charts is indicating here is that games like Arc Raiders are far more engaging for far more players than Splitgate, and that's just a reality. Whether you like it or not, numbers don't lie. They are mercilessly objective. And putting out a statement like this that tries to diminish conversations surrounding Steam Charts numbers, it's not bound to invite a whole lot of sympathy or a whole lot of rallying of support. While there are some people saying that Splitgate Arena Reloaded, like the rebooted version of Splitgate 2, is significantly better and harkens back more to the first game, which is what original fans wanted, there's also a general sense of are we supposed to feel bad for you? What kind of statement is this? Especially when Steam Charts do offer valuable data that can inform customers as to whether they want to spend time and money on a certain game. Prospects just aren't looking good for Splitgate, and it sucks that that's the case. I don't wish Splitgate Arena Reloaded ill. I don't wish any game ill. I want all games to be so freaking good that they become incredibly successful. But this is a competitive market, and no amount of defensiveness surrounding the Steam Charts conversations will ultimately change the reality surrounding this particular live service, which is that, regardless of whether it's fun or not, it's just not doing well. It's just going to die off because it costs money to maintain these servers, and this game at the player base that it's retaining and seeing, it's not going to make enough money as a free-to-play game to make its money back to justify the cost of, maintaining this game. And that's always the danger of live services. It relies on recurrent monetization to break even on the recurrent costs and then to profit beyond that. But for that to happen, you need significant player numbers that Splitgate Arena Reloaded is plain and simply not seeing. These are the risks you run with a live service. These are the risks you run with a poor PR marketing campaign. And these are the risks you run when you launch a game in a state that alienates your community and your fan base, and even overhauls don't always hit enough where it'll allow a game to make a comeback. And currently, that's how things are looking like for Splitgate Arena Reloaded, and Steam Charts numbers say a lot on that front, whether they like it or not. Or at the very least, that's one man's take on Splitgate's response to discussions surrounding their Steam Charts numbers and how poor they're looking. I'd love to hear what your...
That's also a point about this kind of tactic too, is oh, I'm going to fix my game. I know it's a shitty launch or something. A lot of people always use fucking No Man's Sky as a gotcha example. But here's the thing, No Man's Sky, people stick to the end, is a group of loyal developers that understand the game, the potential of it, and then they bank on life for it. And as time passed, they slowly fix and add more stuff into the game that what this game itself is capable of. Because they understand the game mechanic itself, they understand that core engine itself, though it's still a little bit limited around that time, but they managed to, because they still understand the potential of it, they know how to expand it further and further as time passed. But the thing is, not a lot of company can actually pull that thing off. Mainly, especially when you are a big company. Splitgate actually is a really, yes, Splitgate 1 is made by a very small team, technically one person's. But Splitgate 2 is a very big-ass fucking project that a lot of employee, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of bureaucracy happening in there. They just trying to like shit out a live service, shoot a game. Just that. That is their entire goal. Okay, there's no potential in that game. Even you see a potential in that game, more or less likely is a very misguided one. Sadly, I hope they actually can kind of like fix the shit they actually made, but still, it's not going to be going well because again, No Man's Sky is a small company. Splitgate is a giant fucking company. Okay. There is like no amount of work you can do to pull it off because you have hundreds of employees to feed, while No Man's Sky have maybe below 15 people to feed. It's a very different thing. Technically, it used to be 200, and then they fired shit tons of people in the Splitgate. So yeah, that's the thing. You can't do No Man's Sky pull off with a target to be like above, like in between of like AA and AAA game, because Splitgate budget is actually quite close to being a AAA game. It's beyond to like easily to call it like a AA game. It's like overfunded, and then like try to like recoup that overfund money into such a game. They should actually keep the game like lower budget, small ambitious. Is like, yeah, I want to make a Splitgate 2 a little bit better this, a little bit better that, and then offer like a extra mode that is the live service mode. Like you guys can like we are also experiment this kind of mode. You guys can join into this particular experimentation they are running, this and that other stuff. Like that's a lot of way to actually do those kind of things, because that's the thing. Like Splitgate have a very big fan base, but Splitgate 2 is essentially they add in a lot of things that people would generally hate due to there's so many like invested into the game. They have to again, like they have to kind of like recoup back the cost, which is not a very good thing. This is why again, like having investor is good, but know how to control your investor is important. You have a snobby investor that really big ass people just bully you with money, and you have to like add anything like they request so like they can recoup their own loss in their investment. Then no, investment functionally works in a very different spectrum. Okay. It works in like so big of a difference, especially when it comes to game. You really need an investor to understand game, actually understand game, not like understand the exploitation of games. Okay, to invest you is way better than a rich snob that have no idea what game is. All they know is like if you make a live service or make a you either make a live service or make a game that like full of microtransactions like gosh dang Ubisoft, then yeah, you Gucci, you have like a lot of like money from that. No, it doesn't work that way. Especially when a game itself garners so many trust and following, and then you just toss that into a gosh dang like trash can. That's the problem when it comes to those. Don't tell me they don't have choice. They can choose their investors. They can say no, but they choose not to. Okay? I know when you like lack of money, you can be desperate. Then have a smaller fucking team. Who asks you to have like a big ass team to do this thing? Spend a little longer time, have a little bit like spread out on the monies, have a fewer people. You don't need like hundreds of employee. And then like once it's shit fucked up, and then you have to like fire a bunch of them like now. Well, which is not now, which is like before when Splitgate 2 when the time like Splitgate 2 came out, and then they immediately fire a bunch of people to recoup back the losses. It just doesn't fucking work. Game development should develop by a group of people that really understand a game. Okay? No Man's Sky happens because they have a passionate group that actually understand the game itself. Know the mechanic, know the engine, know everything, know the flaw. But understand the potential. Splitgate 2 is just crap. I won't really say crap. Maybe the game is good. But the problem is, like, the moment it launched as Splitgate 2, it already lost everything. That's the thing. Yeah. Let's go back and take a look at something else. I really want to try Hightail, but too bad. I'm not rich enough. Someone commission me some artwork so I can like, or give me some donations. I would be very happy about it. I still haven't like make my Ko-Fi like promo link yet. Here's the thing. I really wish that people can click on shit on my street on my screen. You know, it's like they see that, oh, this and that and stuff. You can actually like put like a overlay to make shit works actually. Yeah, use this URL to add overlay onto your encoders. I am thinking about this. It's like, let me try to think. Live apps. There is a way to, like, in YouTube, only in YouTube. I really want to figure out how this thing works. You can add a manual overlay into it. I'm not sure that you can put link into it or not. If you can, I mean, like, holy moly, if you can do, like, there's so many potential you can actually do with it. Ada Maya. Yeah, currently I'm like working on lots of stuff. Hold on a little bit. I'm trying to test something out. Let's drag out. Yep. Let's click on this one. And go back to here. Let's see what kind of video we can kind of watch while I'm working on stuff. Oh, Logan Paul legal update. Let's take a look. He is so fucked. He is so fucked, which is a good thing.
Interesting update to the Logan Paul lawsuit against CoffeeZilla, and this update has to do with information that may soon be public that's coming from this lawsuit, and it seems that Logan Paul is kind of freaking out about it and doing everything he can to make sure it doesn't.
Yeah, Logan Paul currently, he dig his own fucking hole. Basically, he got a few things that getting sued off, and then every single different court case is technically linked together, but in every single court case, he sang a different song. Basically, everything he say is a different story for every single thing. That people literally are using every single court case that he have right now to cross-examine it across different cases. And now they have caught him like lying in like every single court case. So yeah, he is like very fucked, not just normal fucked.
Go public. And even with the attempts he's making, it's not looking like this is going to stay confidential. A quick 10-second rundown if you don't know.
You can't even compare Markiplier with Logan Paul. Logan Paul is bullshit. I don't even know why he is famous in the first place. That guy have scam people, have being shit to people. The whole Japan thing. He technically like are the like main guy that trigger the whole racist toward like Japanese trend. Okay, if you want to take a look closely, really, everyone start to hate, like, really strongly have this, like, hatred toward Japanese people. It start from Logan Paul. Like, once he did that, like, harassing, like, Japanese people in, like, in Japan video. Yeah, after that, way more people starting to do that shit. And then Japanese people become way and way more wary of, like, tourism because of that. And then people think Japanese are racist. And then, like, technically they kind of is, but they used to open up way more. And then like Japanese slowly open up more toward foreigner, and then Logan Paul happened, and then everyone started to trickle down. It's like Logan Paul, Johnny Somali, and then that who fuckers? That's that like one guy that went to the train and then like refused to pay the train fee and then ran away. That fuckers. I call him fuckers because like I will not restrain my language on that guy. That guy technically is worse than Logan Paul and Johnny Somali. You think like Johnny Somali is a holy shit, that guy no one can compete with him. Actually, there is a guy that compete with him. At least Johnny Somali contained within his like stupidity with himself. The other guy, the third guy that I mentioned, I forgot his gosh dang name. I actually made a video about him before too. He literally teach people how to harass people in Japan. He made multiple different like video teach people tutorial of how to harass people in Japan. And then start like race and competitions, like how to be a like basically try to be a dick in Japan. Like literally like hosting a lot of event that is like ask a lot of like foreign tourists that go in there and do horrible shit to Japanese people. Like that basically just bother them as much as possible. Technically not even bother them, it's basically they do something like Amazing Race, but the Amazing Race with like trying to bother as much people as possible. Yeah, do you know what happened to him? He got deported, but he became a congressman. I'm not even kidding. He became an EU congressman. If you lived in EU, your tax money is going to that fucker. He get not 50. I think it's like 50,000 euro. I have to take a look again, okay? I have to double check. My video, I think I remember I posted before. I have it in the title. Hold on, let me try to find this. Yeah, it's an older video. I decided to remaster it and then like post it again. If you want, here you go. But yeah, you should watch like the link I provided, the Atozi one. Not Atozi, like Mugen one. It's like way more better. 60,000 euro. Yeah, 60,000 euro every month. Okay, he gets 60 fucking thousand euro every month, trolling in the entire parliament. Do you know how many money is 60,000 euro? He don't have any staff. Like the 60,000 euro is like a standard allowance for people who work in like parliament for like their team. Like you know, like you usually have like a group of people to work with. You'll have like You have like yourself, your secretary, maybe like someone like run like your campaign stuff, or like your security, this and that other stuff. But this guy is literally a troll. He just go in there with a fucking phone and record the sessions and then troll around in the parliament only. So he do not need a team. He gets all the money himself for himself. Depends, like, which country are you from? All I can say is like from I calculate from Malaysia ringgit, okay? Or if you want me to just like calculate in US, okay, US. Take a look. Euro to USD. Euro to USD. Technically, the place is still fine. It's fine. Ah, USD is slightly bigger. The money is it's slightly bigger than yours, so it's 70,000 per month. This fucker actually gets 70,000 per month in USD from trolling in the parliament. Right now, he is still in seat for the next. For now, he still like will be in seat. Like this is like last year news, so it's like he will be in seat for like 4 more years. He will get 70,000 like USD per month for 4 more years. Since he also trolling in the parliament as TikTok content, he will still get a lot of TikTok money too. So he did not just get from the tax dollars from like the European people. He also like get money from TikTok from trolling inside the parliament as his content. Yeah, you can watch like Mujin video talking about him. This guy is like I say again, like among all the shitty people, he is the shittiest one. And then more or less, he can be low key in many way more successful than Logan Paul, because Logan Paul is like actively getting hate. This guy is like under the fucking radar, while he's do the stuff that worse than Johnny Somali, worse than Logan Paul. At least Logan Paul like scam the shit out of stupid people. This guy literally take money out from people, like from using like other people like tax money. He actually got a seat in the EU Parliament is mainly because he'd be like, why not? For me, I'm not American. I don't live there. I don't give a shit about what happened in your place at the moment. I just know that everything is chaos there. Everyone opinion in some way, some sense and form. I don't care you are from anywhere, like left, right, up, down. Everyone have a very dumb take on lots of things. For now, I'll be like, you know what? I don't talk too much about this because I am not smart enough for this. But at least I know one thing is like, I can clearly see something is dumb, something is not. Well, if you want. Maybe you can come to Malaysia, but Malaysia is too hot for you. Maybe Australia. Australia is kind of nice. Yeah, Australia is actually kind of nice. Aside from the spiders, like everything in Australia is actually very open and very nice. But try not to move into the cities. Okay, a lot of people might think like, oh, Australia is nice, and then like they like immediately live in Melbourne or like in like Sydney. I can tell you one thing, like the densest like Australia is a very good place, but never go into denser city area because right now the denser city area is kind of crime filled. There's a few reasons for it. It's basically it's like I think like in US also have this stuff like happen too. Like this is like mainly Western country issues. I think even Asia have one too, but it's lesser in Asia because the caning. Well, I think in US like they do have like a lot of few like really dangerous spiders. In is it black? Is it in like your place have like Black Widow and also um and the most funniest spider, the Brazilian spider, the Brazilian jumping spiders. Like not Brazilian jumping spider is a different spiders. Okay, it's not normal spiders. Okay, I don't even think it's called jumping spider. It's like it have Brazilian something something spiders. You can go and search about it. Well, it is called Brazilian spider. So like no matter how, it's just close to the Brazilian side. That spider have a strange properties. Okay, once that spider bites you, the it doesn't have venom that can kill you. Okay, it have the venom that make your ding dong go hard. Yes, I'm not even kidding. Apparently, it just makes you go hard for a really, really, really long period amount of time. And that become an issue because it won't go down. So it will not go down. It was known to be like making the ding dong like get hot for like 8 to like 12 hours. It can be a day. But the problem is not because it go hot for a very long time. The problem is actually you going hot for too long. Because the blood in there refuse to go anywhere. So it will like the blood will slowly start rotting your dick, and then like it will rot your dick off with like necrosis and everything, the lack of oxygen in your like blood vessel and stuff like that. And that's the issue. So once you get bite, there is no anti venom. Like once you get bite, you have to go to find doctors, and then they have to drain the blood out from your ding dong. Well, Japan is nice and all, but depends on how Western you are. If you are extremely white, you might get some persecution look. But also at the same time, if you lean toward the entertainment industry, you have a nice time. You have a nice time over there. But if you lean toward the general things, you might get a lot of stink eye. Unless you are really proficient in Japanese language, then you can live there like quite fine. But if you don't, yeah, you get quite a lot of weird eyes on you. As for Malaysia, despite being in Malaysia, depends on where you want to live. If you want to live in something that have some familiarity, you can try to live in KL. Okay, it is sometimes you can see a little bit dirty, but hey. So when it comes to that, all right. I would say is fine. If you want to live in much more rural area, I don't recommend it for anyone. Go to Malaysia rural area if you really want to like move to Malaysia's. Because like the rural area in Malaysia can be really rural. We have this kind of thing is like there are people mistook Malaysia country as like a third world country, but we are not. But we are also not in the same time not a first world country. We kind of like playing like the chasing game. You know, we are always doing like a lot of like chasing game like with the first world country. So we kind of like lag behind a little bit on the first world country, but not far away enough to be a third world country. That kind of situations. That is Malaysia's. And so you will go to the rural area, there will be a super fucking rural. And then if you go to like the city area, like holy shit, it feels like you went to New York City. And to be honest, I do say this thing. If you go and research about like Malaysia a little bit, you'll find out that Malaysia, at the moment, Malaysia is way more America than American. Not kidding. Try to think this. Like back in the long time ago, the American value, like all those kind of like capitalism things, and aside from that, is like being open, understanding, accept all this and that yada stuff. You know? So it's a very odd place. Like try to think about this. Like you might see like sometimes and some place somewhere a lot of people hate like Muslim people due to the some of the Muslim country, the extremist side of them is a little bit scary and stuff. But in Malaysia, while being a Muslim country, we don't behave like a Muslim country. We have religious freedom, which is the weirdest thing happened in according to a Muslim country. Basically, we are super fucking open. Try to think about like maybe like 60% is kind of like only 60% of people in Malaysia is like Muslim, and then the rest of them is like mixture of like multiple different cultures and like different religions and everything. And everyone here is really open-minded, you know? Yes, there will always be like a few asshole here and there, like that everywhere have one, you know? But it won't be like overwhelming amount. All I can say is like everyone is actually like really kind to each other's. Like even we can like, you know, say some racist insulting stuff to each other's, we kind of like say it as like a very very normal thing. Like you know the kind of like insult that there's like two type of insult, okay? There's the type of insult you really meant it, and then there's the type of insult that you actually just like say it because it's funny. Or because it's just a normal language for us, like it's like the word fucked. we use it so much. It technically is more or less it's like a very very normal language for us. Because we can take it. We are not fucking snowflake. Hey, you say me dad. Hey, I say you dad. we can be like in third person view. We might be a little bit too racist, but also in the same time, we kind of like to that point. We seems very chill. Because we can sling those words here and there like toward each other's. And the stereotype, the stereotype is so funny. I don't know why. We actually like, here's the thing, like we Malaysians, we won't really say we love stereotype. It's just that the stereotype that we have is oddly accurate to a point that we don't mind. Yeah, yeah. It's really funny. I won't say I won't say it out loud. I won't say it out loud. But once you live there, you'll understand. But yeah, again, like we are very open-minded people. We mix it to each other cultures. We eat many different food. We hybrid stuff, this and that other stuff. It's really fun living in Malaysia. And Malaysia is known as geographically the safest place in the world. Geographically the safest place in the world. Philippines eats up all the typhoon, or you can say not typhoon, maybe like there's a lot of like a tornado, like thunderstorm, like those kind of things, like will time to time happen to a lot of people, right? So Philippines is kind of like outside the bound of Malaysia's. It's like surrounding Malaysia's. So end up like eat up like all the like earthquake, all the like tsunamis, all the tornado and stuff. So I kind of feel bad for Philippines, but due to location issues, so we are kind of getting protected by our entire surrounding. Basically, if you look into Malaysia map, the right side we have Philippines to like weather the storm out for us, and on the left side we have India to weather the storm out for us, and the bottom side we have Indonesia absorb all the like tsunamis and the earthquake and everything from us. So we literally do not get any other like issues at all. We have zero natural disaster. Only man-made natural disasters is like flooding, all those kind of things. That is just bad infrastructures and like embezzlement on like low maintenance on infrastructure sometimes, and then like shit happens, and then flash flood happen. Aside from flash flood, we don't really have a lot of other stuff. Oh, we have one. Haze seasons. So it's basically like Indonesia's, they do something like a control forest burning or jungle burning, or like control that you know what it is. They do that shit, but most of the time they don't give a shit. They just burn everything in one go. Because they burn everything in one go, all the smoke from like created from there is just like according to the wind direction, it just blew everything toward us. So everyone in Brunei, everyone in Malaysia, everyone in Thailand, Vietnam, in Philippines, we all get the smog, and they get nothing. That's the issues. And then there will be like some period amount of time we have to like wear masks and stuff to like like prevent the smoke, this and that other stuff. And then after like COVID happens, they stop burning the gosh dang fucking forest. For like 2 years, we got 2 years of peace, and then we realized that holy shit, Indonesia really burned those shit, like it affect like our like entire countrywide issues. So Singapore and various like Southeast Asia country decided to sue the shit out of Indonesia afterward. If you don't control your control fire burner, you are going to get fuck. And then they'd be like, oh shit, all right, and then we start having like like big like smog like haze issues. It will still have it, because fire, no matter how much you want to control, there will still be like 1 or 2 moments that you can't really control from like some wild windy time. It's more like incompetence, but they will at least now they will try not to fuck up. That's the main point. At least they will try not to fuck up. Oh, everyone comes to my stream when I chat a lot. It's a really enjoyable time. That's the thing. The problem is I don't really have a lot of people to chat with. Here's the thing. I am... It sounds a little bit hubris or self-glazing, but I am a very entertaining person. Oh shit, my computer is like lagging off. There's too many things running my screen. Sorry that. I need to upgrade my processing power sometimes. But yeah, like speaking of all those kind of things, like it's working very well. I used to be kind of famous. That's the thing that I can say. I'm not even kidding about it. I used to have like 26K ish of people watching me back in the days, like live viewer. How I am from like 26K peak like live viewer from like now I have you only. I got scared back then. Okay? And I was still young. I've been streaming for like 10 years, okay? At this point I feel like you know, it's just a shame that I delete the channel. But back in the days, okay, YouTube exists. Oh, hi there, Ren. I am telling you all the stories about the days that I used to be famous. The rise and fall of Kiro Vakuo. It happened twice too, like sadly. Hope my stream is not that laggy. I keep seeing my it's kind of weird. My stream kind of like I can see it like stuttering like time to time. I don't know why it's happening, but let's hope like it doesn't happen too much. But either way, yeah. So 10 years ago, let me use back my English voice for this, okay? Point the mic much more accurately onto my face. All right. 10 years ago, when I was still streaming in multiple different, technically, like multiple different type of platform moving around, because back in the days, Twitch only lets you stream games. Oh, it's not in your ends, it's on my side. Because like this particular scene that I'm using is really taxing on the, you know, on the computers, especially the gosh dang ring light. Okay, I can remove the ring light. But yeah, it's still happening. It will like sooner or later like generate back in the much more like better scenes. It's like the gosh dang lag. I really hate the lag. But yeah. But back in the days, like Twitch only able to stream games. You can't stream other stuff. Okay, the just chat doesn't really exist back then. So you can only stream games. And then if you want to, it's basically when it comes to the streaming scene, there's like 3 platforms for you to stream in. There's like Twitch. If you want to stream games, go there. And then there is like the other one. I forgot what they call it again. My brain's got stuck. If you guys recall it, let me know. They call it Mixer. Yes, Mixer. So if you want to play games for fun, okay, then stream in Twitch. If you want to get into esport, stream in Mixer. If you want to just do it casually, having some fun, just want to stream for fun only itself, maybe like live stream your hobbies, doing some drawing, having a little bit chat, like those kind of things. Back then, Facebook are the place for that. Okay, so I was streaming in Facebook, and lo and behold, I don't know how and why it happened. I became super fucking famous in Facebook. Don't even know how that happened actually. I was just like streaming like how to use like OBS. Back in the days, OBS is like super unfriendly. I'm not even kidding about that. It's like OBS is notoriously like not user friendly. Now it's called Obok, but Facebook like 10 years ago was actually a pretty decent place. Oh, I still remember back in the days the cafe story and like lots of like other like games. I don't play Farmville, but technically like right now like Roblox have their own Farmville going on in there. I don't really like it. It gives me PTSD looking at that. Then you want to talk about Roblox, that gosh dang game. Again, like what was that game? Yes. So I was just streaming, like teaching people how to use the OBS back in the days because it's a fairly new technology. So it have a lot of like neat stuff like going on in there, which I kind of find it like really, really like you know, fun to take a look at. Man, my stream is like really, really laggy. I might switch to a different scene. Hold on a little bit. Okay, this one should be better. Should be less laggy only. I'll be fixing the still lag. This lag spike, I have no idea. This means like this is not the issues of the scene. Okay, I can go back in. This is not the scene issues. It seems to be my computer's issues. What the fuck? Maybe I can turn off my Windows Edge. I use Windows Edge to kind of like run my stream viewing things, and Opera to run my personal account stuff. What? Thank you. I still got a lot more drawing stuff I can share, but not now yet. Maybe later. Where was I again? Ah, yes. So OBS back then is not really like user friendly. Even plugin. Yes, plugin back then you have to install so many things to actually make a plugin work, and even you install the plugin doesn't work properly. Because if you want to activate or control a plugin, you literally have to learn coding to type and exchange that. Maybe like, okay, I have this plugin that add like a overlay on top of it. You can interact with it, but the problem is like I have to like in like maybe you know what? Let's play some music. The problem is like I have to like type in like the dimension, this and that other stuff, or like type some coding stuff to activate it, or like to adjust the size, or like input like image into it, this and that other stuff. You have to find a file, this and that other stuff, read, display, output. You have to write a lot of coding shit. So back in the days, plugin is not super like user friendly. There is some like exist, but most of them don't. Like back then, like being like a PNG tuber itself is like very difficult. You really like Fuji was not a thing back then, so you have to like find like a very arbitrary way to actually make it work. That's those, and then so I was like streaming those kind of things, and then stream how to create like art asset, like overlay for like your OBS, teach people how to use OBS, and then. This might surprise you. I changed the scene again. Wait a minute, where am I? Ta-da! Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy that hide his face. Technically, I'm partially hide my face behind my model, but still, I'm here. Like the thing is, like I streamed with my face before, and obviously, I don't mind about that. When it comes to streaming back in the days, you don't really have VTubers. You only stream your face cam, or like you have no cam. You just have this two choice, okay? You don't have other things. And in order to stream your face, you can already see like the lighting I have is like sometimes the camera go dark a little bit and bright a little bit, go dark a little bit, bright a little bit. Like now, it just did that. In order to get like consistent lighting, okay, you have to have a proper lighting. So aside from need to have a DSLR like camera, you need like ring light, key light, fill light, all those kind of like camera knowledge. I also teach people those kind of things too. Back in the days, nowadays you can just use your like maybe like just some dinky old ass like Samsung A3 or something like Huawei phone. And then you can just use those things like very cheap phone to use as a webcam. It's fine. Or you can just buy a webcam. And back in the days, is like if you really want to go all in, you really need a DSLR 5 camera. So yeah. And with that, you have to really understand how lighting works. Right now, my lighting is shit. You can see like I have a lot of shadows on my face and everything. And if I do anything like have too much drastic movement, the auto adjustment on the light, you can see it kind of like go bright and dark a lot. So I have a ceiling light which casts a lot of shadows like underneath, like our cheek is like, you know, everyone have like the chubby cheek, no matter how thin you are, like your cheekbone is going to like cast a shadow down, your lips is going to cast a shadow down if your ceiling light is kind of like going like straight down to your face. So what you need to do is to kill the ceiling light. That is right above you. But now it's so freaking dark. I only have like this one dinky little light that kind of like casts a little bit of light over there. This is where key light coming from. Key light is going to be the brightest light source you have to shine at your face. Okay? Now I have a key light. It shines so much on my face. I used to have some lighting over like the far away like ceiling light I have. I left it on. So you can notice like now majority on my face is in this side because I have a ring light pointing at me, which is like super fucking bright. This side it become like super bright now. But it's because this is a very strong light. It casts a shadow in this side of the face. So when it casts like shadow on this side of the face, how are you going to fix it? Is have another smaller light that you put like a tissues on it, or like you have a proper item called like a diffusers, kind of like spread out, soften the light to fill the shadow gap as much as possible. You can't make this light stronger than your key light. It have to be weaker and also very like blur out to the point that it just fill up the rest of the body that the key light like the shadow from the key light casted. So you need a light from the left side, you need a light from the right side. If you really want to highlight what's behind you, since I got a green screen, I don't need that. But if it's empty, okay, oops. So if it's empty, all right, if this place like behind is empty, you can put some like really strong, like something similar to like a key light lighting level right below you or behind you that the camera doesn't pick up the light directly. You have to indirectly light up the rim of your like you know, body, so it kind of have like the highlight in there. It gives you like a contour line, so it kind of like highlight your entire body shape, which does help a lot. Yeah, this is again like this is like how I normally do like a lot of things. I teach people a lot like about camera, about ISO, about like shutter speed. This is the point. And basically I'm like an OBS tech user, like high tech user. Right now, my OBS is like shit because motherfucking Windows 11. Like seriously, my OBS do not have this stutter issues when I have like the, you know, when I use like Windows 10. Now it force the shit out of me use like Windows 11. I have no choice but to use it Windows 11 now. I just don't give a shit anymore. But using Windows 11, like motherfuckers, this thing is like constantly have like this like stuttering, like over encoding issues. I don't even know what happened. I think I have one fix. I can fix. I hope it can fix. Hold on. Oh, I have to. The screen will go dark a little bit, but be back soon. All right. Tool teleport. Turn off the teleport. All right. I hope this thing fixed it. Just hope. Finger crossed. But what was I again? Ah, yes. So that kind of like makes me a little bit famous because I enjoy chatting people, teaching people stuff here and there. I teach people drawing, teaching people like even like when I do some gaming, I try to like entertain as much, be as entertaining as possible. And I become like super famous around that time. And then the barrier of entry back then for become a streamer is so high. It's ridiculously high because again, you really want to become a successful streamer. First thing you have to do is to have a DSLR camera, which again is a very expensive shit that you also need. Like, you can't just use any old DSLR camera. You need a DSLR camera that can connect to your gosh. So yeah, oh gosh dang, this stack. I want to give up at this point. Like, how does this thing keep happening? I have enough RAM. I have enough like GRAM. I have enough like this and that. Like, it just keep having stuttering. And it got worse. Let's see if this helps. I'm switching my priority list on my CPU. This one is the highest. I shouldn't even need to like set that thing up. Gosh dang, maybe it's the Copilot. This is like doing something to the computers. At this point, I'm really disappointed at Windows. Like, seriously. I don't have any alternative way to go back to Windows 10 at the moment. Because if I go to Windows 10, they actually force me to go back to Windows 11. I didn't even click yes or no, they just force update my window from restarting. Which is a very stupid thing. I turned that shit off, they will still do that. I gave up. But having like Windows 11 as a streamers is a gosh dang nightmare. I had to work around with so many technical issues and things. Like, shit just happened out of nowhere. And even now, I still don't know what is causing it. Back in the days, it's much more easier to track down what's causing it because, like, Windows actually show it to you who is the fucking culprit. Nowadays, Microsoft is trying their best to hide those things. Like, even you delete Copilot, they still stealthily like install Copilot behind the scene that didn't even show you Copilot exists in the window because you delete it. But now they have like a stealth version installed and you can't even see it when they reinstall it back. Which is, again, isn't that a fucking crime? But still, yeah. I like... Man, it's just stupid. Yeah. Well, TLDR, my rise and fall story is just very simple. Became famous, and then I'm actually using my Facebook, my actual Facebook, to stream. So I kind of low-key doxed myself. I got scared a little bit, decided to delete the page. Since I suddenly become super famous for a very long time, I get consistently like 8 to like 12k people watching me, and then the peak is like 26k. I'd be like, you know what? Enough is enough. I should keep streaming. And I moved to Twitch. Oh gosh dang it, it's still having the really pissing me off. The stuttering issues. I can't fix it. The fuck is doing this to me? Hold on a little bit. I need to like turn off the... I need to flash a black screen a little bit again. Alright. If this thing still have issues, means I'm actually really rusty at my old. Fuck! Fuck you, Windows 11! Fuck you! Now this become like a stupid troubleshooting stream. Wait a minute, why is it not working? Hold on, let me check the global value of some things. Yeah, the YouTube reminder is not working. Since when I removed the trigger? Wonders. Alright, now it's clear. Sorry that I had to send that thing. Seems that I turned off the trigger on my timer. Call, timed actions, Discord, reminder. Okay. Alright. I don't think I can fix any more technical stuff. I think the replay thing does play a part, but but I don't believe this is like the main thing that caught me off guard. I am sleepy, and the caffeine does not help. If I fell asleep now, you guys will hear me snoring. I think I'm really dead tired. I don't know what. Yesterday I keep hearing sound. It's like I didn't really have a good night's sleep at all. Sorry, I might have to end the stream a little bit earlier than usual. And to take a nap. I'll get onto my work like maybe later on after I woke up from my nap. I do have to finish this thing by today. So I will re-stream again once I finish my nap. So either way, thank you very much for watching, and as always guys, stay healthy, stay safe. Until next time, stay tuned on the next stream, which maybe like will be after my nap or something, maybe 6. I'll do another 2 or 3 hour stream afterward. Good night.